As a child, I was suffocated and silenced. I don't know what I said that upset my mom so much, but I do know that she threatened to wash my mouth with soap. In my opinion, that was an absurd threat because we had these little green smiley face, but they were yuck faces, stickers, that she had put on all the different things that are not food, like Tide Pods. And she told us these things are toxic and poisonous and you should not eat them. They will make you very sick. And now she was threatening to wash my mouth with soap. It made no sense to me. And I don't know if it was a statement or a question, but I said, "You wouldn't do that." Well, she saw it as a challenge. So she dragged me off to the bathroom, grabbed a fresh bar of soap, because I guess that's cleaner than a used bar of soap, and shoved the whole thing in my mouth. And this was all a very confusing situation, because first she had told us that soap is toxic and don't eat it, it'll make you sick. She's threatening to poison me. She's following through on poisoning me. But I was also being suffocated by an entire bar of soap plus her hand in my mouth. So she scrubbed my mouth to her heart's content, and I learned my lesson. Be quiet. Stay small. Don't upset mom. Do whatever it takes to keep her happy so I can stay alive. It was a pretty traumatic experience at 6 or 7 years old. On top of that, I had difficulty swallowing, and I don't know if that's from the way she was holding my neck or some sort of physical injury or allergy. I refused to eat for 3 days because it was too hard to swallow. In desperation, mom gave me ice cream, which makes a lot of phlegm, which makes it even harder to swallow. Ever since then, I had nightmares about suffocating and choking. Then 2 years ago, I did the Emerge Discipleship Intensive at our church. At the beginning, I lay at the cross my burden of needing to protect my mother's reputation and the shame I felt for the abuse that had been done to me. By the end of the year, with the ladies' small group, I shared that I felt the hand on my neck suffocating me. One of the leaders chimed in and silencing. The other leader handed me a rock and challenged me to throw the rock and yell and to release whatever it was that was holding me back and suffocating in silence. But I was stuck in freeze and I couldn't do it. I just stood there with a rock in my hands until one of the other girls in the group said, "How about we all throw rocks together?" And so they all got rocks and we counted to 3 and we threw our rocks and yelled. Later that evening, I just randomly thought of the time that my mom washed my mouth with soap. And then I realized that that was the moment that I first felt the hand on my neck suffocating and silencing that I felt my whole life. After that, I found my voice and I started telling my stories. It was a really powerful experience, coming alive and sharing the experiences that happened to me. After I threw the rock, after I told my friends the story, I had one more nightmare about choking and suffocating, and I've not had that anymore since then, even with this neck injury, even when I've actually had trouble swallowing. I've not had nightmares, I've just experienced it. This past June, I was accidentally hit in the neck and jaw, and it made it hard to swallow. By the time I was done making dinner, I wasn't able to eat dinner. And I realized that I was re-experiencing my childhood trauma of being suffocated and silenced. But I said, this time is different. I'm an adult. I understand what's happening to me. I can take anti-inflammatories, do what I need to do. It ended up being a lot worse even than the injury that I had as a child. I went to the chiropractor. I had some major misalignments. Then I had lots of soft tissue work done just to be able to eat and swallow. And here we are, 3.5 months later, and I'm still having issues with my tooth, with digestion, with my thyroid that took the direct hit. But through it all, I've said over and over, this time is different, and this time I will not be silenced. My abuser lives on the other side of the country, and she cannot hurt me. Then I got in a car accident on her birthday. What is that? It wasn't just my mother who suffocated and silenced me. She was just a tool. But now I see what's happening, and I'm coming out of the trauma response of freeze and fawn, and I'm getting my fight back. Now I feel fiery inside because this time is different. And it's not just a physical injury, and it's not just healing the physical trauma. It's an undoing of one of my most traumatic childhood memories that I've had to re-experience. But this time is different, and I will not be silenced. So now I'm reclaiming my voice and everything that was lost 30 years ago when I was suffocated and silenced. Because this time I will not be silenced. That means I need to be intentional about using my voice. So here I am, telling my story.